They may be time travelers. That is why it is so important for disclosure to happen.
Are ETs, UAPs, close encounters, aliens, events of high strangeness somehow related to psychic ability or paranormal activity, spirituality or religion, or even Mother Nature? We have a special guest today who says, yes, there is a connection. We're going to welcome in Dr. Lisa Puzo-Strickland from Franklin, Tennessee. I'm May K. Beeler, and you're joining us here on We Are Not Alone on Queen City News Plus. Lisa, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I've been so excited to chat with you.
This is different and unique because we're new doing this original program, and most folks have talked about encounters and aliens, and to me, you're a little bit more down to earth if it somehow ties into Mother Nature. So we can't wait to hear about that. But I want to introduce you a little more. You're kind of an expert in talking about psionics, and I don't even know what that is. You're going to teach us today. From psionics to spirituality, crypto to clustering, ecosystems to extraterrestrials, and beyond. Somehow this is related to UAPs and UFOs. Is that correct?
Everything is related. Everything is connected. If you boil this down to the energetic, subnuclear, subcellular level, everything is energy and everything is connected by energy. So it's not a stretch to see how humans and nature and beyond nature are actually connected. Think of it this way. When you walk into a room and you're blaring the music super loud, what do your plants do? They start to droop. Or if there's arguments in the house, they start to droop. They don't like that. They react to humans. They react to their environment. Humans do the same thing. If we see a dead plant, we get kind of sad. If we walk into a forest and it's green and it's vibrant, we're happy, we're joyful, we feel a connection. So when people are affected by nature and nature affects people in return, it affects us down to the cellular level. Now, what's interesting is there is a consciousness component here. We share consciousness. That's why a mom is able to know when something happens to their child 2,000 miles away. That's entanglement. That's a consciousness connection. We have that with one another. We have that with nature because we are nature. That's where we came from. That's where we're going back to. That's all we've got. Consider nature as kind of our bio Bible, as you will. So if there's a connection between those two life forms, nature and humans, and there's a consciousness component there, of course there's going to be a consciousness component with life outside of Earth, meaning UAP, or more specifically, non-human intelligence.
I'm fascinated. Tell us a little bit about, you've got a degree from the University of Metaphysics in Sedona, Arizona. Parapsychology you have studied. You're really deep into this, and you're part of different organizations that study UAPs and UFOs and the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, first, the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance, I have such a deep respect for. It's started by Dan Harari, who is a Hollywood publicist for 40 years, and Steve Bassett, who is a Washington, D.C. lobbyist specifically for UAP. He is your cuff tugger. He's been in it for 20 some years, and he's knows where all the contacts are and all the information is. So between the two of them, they started Hollywood Disclosure Agency Alliance, as a hub for writers, directors, actors, and mostly documentarians to not only come together and find resources together, but to spread the word about what they're finding and create content according to those findings regarding UAP and NHI, meaning non-human intelligence.
And
It's
Lisa,
a phenomenal organization.
we have had both of them on our show.
Oh,
And
good,
yes, and
good.
Dan has really helped me bring guests on board that are genuine and vets them for me. And that's how we found you as well. So we're just delighted to have you. Now, you were in the entertainment industry for 25 years, and then your life took a different course and brought you to this nature UAP connection. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. I'll give you the quick cliff note about that.
Okay.
I was born into the entertainment industry. My father was actually with MCA Universal in right there near Burbank, California. So I grew up in back lots, back stages. I followed his footsteps into the record industry and radio industry. So I did that for 20, 25 years. But I was also going to school at a very strict Baptist school. So I remember specifically in junior high school hearing these Bible stories thinking, wow, that kind of sounds like something an alien would do besides just an angel. These random thoughts would just pop in my head. I remember a high school football game sitting there thinking, okay, if aliens came and floated a craft above this football field, what would they think of humans right now? So it was always a belief that I had, and I do not know where that necessarily came from. So after leaving the entertainment industry, mostly to just raise our kids, um, I went ahead and I thought, I want to study and I want to live my life according to my passions. Before I got married, I was that girl that didn't want to go out and stand in a long line to get in the club. I was the one that ran home to watch X-Files at 8 o'clock. So that was me. So when I got my PhD in philosophy and parapsychology, it fused all of my interest. It fused UAP, NHI, it fused philosophy, psychology, just better, healthier cognitive living. In addition, my love of nature, biomimicry, which is basically the mimicking of nature in production and technology. And I was able to put all that together. And then I met Dan at Hollywood Disclosure Alliance, and everything opened up from there. And I was actually able to put what I learned in my PhD into daily practice. And that's how I got involved with other agencies as well that parallel what Hollywood Disclosure Alliance is doing, such as the Saul Foundation, which is somewhat affiliated with Stanford. It's not a part of Stanford, but Stanford's Professor Gary Nolan co-founded the Saul Foundation as a hub for scientific research that is put through a rigorous testing process to make sure that it's actually real before it goes out to the masses. Archives of the Impossible out of Houston, specifically Rice University, which is associated with the John Mack Institute. It's a lovely organization, very good, genuine people. Jeffrey Cripple, Karen Austin. These are places that people can go if they want to learn more and just have a sense of community, whether you're an experiencer or you're just an enthusiast. And of course, MUFON and any New Paradigm Institute, and just it's a lovely community. One thing I found is that there's such a collaboration between all these multi groups. And now that the UAP NHI discussion has made it to a political platform, it's being discussed in the hallways of Congress and the House. It's being finally admitted by myriad military whistleblowers. And they're all collaborating now with these groups. And in addition, earlier you mentioned religion and spirituality. Oh, absolutely. That consciousness component is what connects the conversation of UAP and NHI together. It's
Because Lisa, and forgive me, I don't mean to interrupt. There's some people who are raised in a very strict religious way, and they think that anything UAP or alien is evil
yeah.
or is not of God. So, what do you make of that?
I was taught that from
Hmm.
kindergarten through 12th grade.
Yeah.
And that never really made sense to me. And I'll tell you why. Because I believe in God and I believe that God is grand. And when you look at the human condition, I don't think that humans, hope I don't make anyone mad up there. I don't think that humans are the best that God can do. And considering how old the Earth is, how old the universe is, and the solar system is, it not only makes logical sense, it just makes mathematical sense that there is life elsewhere and that God can carry his benevolence to other places besides that one tiny little speck in the universe called Earth. I think to honor all creation and all religions and all beliefs and all humans and all life forms is, in fact, honoring whatever it is that you personally believe in.
Lisa, that's a beautiful, beautiful. We're going to just take a quick break and we'll be right back when We Are Not Alone continues. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone, to We Are Not Alone. Dr. Lisa is with us today, talking about the connection between nature and spirituality and paranormal activity and aliens and UAPs and UFOs and all that good stuff. Lisa, have you had an encounter?
I have never had an encounter that I know of. I just have always known that they are very, very real. And I've met hundreds of people who have had experiences of one sort or another, whether it's directly with NHI or whether it's just seeing an orb in the sky. These are not just military, not just scientists, not just people that are highly educated, but normal, honest, regular people
Hmm.
that deserve to be believed.
Lisa, I would think there's something within you that can connect with these people. Otherwise, you might think, yeah, whatever. Are you empathic? Do you have psychic abilities?
It's funny when you said that, I was thinking of the word empathic.
Mm.
I was born very intuitive. There were so many times throughout high school, college, and those first 5 or 10 years in radio and records that it was difficult for me because I would have one foot in the present and another foot in the future. I can't tell you how many times I would meet somebody and swear that I had met them a year ago. Or I would get to work and be confused. Did I already do that project or am I about to do that project? It was a little kooky living there for a while. So I'm very empathetic to anyone who has any sort of paranormal or psi ability or experience. And on that note, we can talk more about psionics if you'd
Yeah, I
like.
was just we have ESP. I was just I was just going to ask you that. What is that anyway, and why is it important?
Psionics is a very important component to the UAP and NHI phenomenon. It's an important component to human living as it is. So people use the term psionics oftentimes when they're referring to all of paranormal activity. So paranormal is para, which means beyond, so beyond normal. Parapsychology is the study of anything paranormal or fringe or not what you consider normal. And then psionics, because parapsychology and paranormal are often referred to as just psi,
Mhm.
PSI, it is psionics is the study of parapsychology, meaning and recorded and detected parapsychology or paranormal activity. And that's where you get the psi and the onyx. But they use the term psionics interchangeably, which is fine because I don't care what you want to call it. Let's just call it something because we're talking about it.
How does that affect me in my daily life and our viewers who just want to know about aliens and UFOs and UAPs and are they here and have they been here and is disclosure coming soon and do I need to be scared and how does that play a role in a way that we can relate to it?
Well, psionics, parapsychology, anything paranormal is very consciousness based. It's about connection, not just a quantum connection, but an emotional connection.
Mm.
There's a gentleman, former military, started an organization called Skywatcher, and what he experienced going on a very secret mission was a connection with a craft, a UAP craft that was incredibly emotional and heart tugging to him. When people have a UAP or NHI experience, they often feel this same consciousness component, not just in terms of telepathic communication with an entity, but a feeling of connection. They also have missing time. They have levitation. They have this overwhelming feeling of a connection to time and space that may feel emotional or even ancestral. So I think what we need to remember is that everything is connected at that source, and that we really are all part of one existence, as you will. So there's
So
nothing to be afraid of. We together are about to go through disclosure. We're going through massive Bitcoin changes and cryptocurrency changes. We're changing the shape of the earth through global warming. There's going to be migrations northward. A lot is changing, especially with AI, quantum computing, robotics in the next few years. But we have survived so much more than that. We are a species of change as long as we stay connected right here to your heart, to what you believe in, and of course, to each other and to nature.
when somebody has a UAP or a close encounter experience, then would it be different for each individual depending on how they filter it through their life experiences or through their emotions or maybe what they would expect?
100%. Nick Pope, famous on Ancient Aliens, he's a dear friend, and he once said, one person may see an angel, another may see a ghost or an apparition, and another may see a non human intelligent form. It really does go through your philosophical process. It's just how the brain works. So during this whole next 5 years, when we see all these massive changes in our human reality, it's a great time to pause a little bit and step back and say, huh, how does this fit in with my current beliefs, this new information, or this new factor of reality that I'm having to deal with on a daily basis now, or disclosure of alien life? Beta test a few of those old beliefs. Use that psychotecture. And just remember that in the end, we are absolutely going to be okay.
It, it it's hard to believe that right now because there's so much toxicity
Mhm.
that we all feel every day. It's very heavy, especially for those of us who work in news. And we have to report the
Yes.
news every day. It's very heavy. And people are scared. They don't know what's going on because there is so much change. So, what do we need to know?
I would get your feet in the ground. I would go back to nature, walk in a forest, walk in a park. Start there. Start simple. Don't try to take it all on all at one time. Breathe in some fresh air, get some sunshine on your face. I think we were given nature as not just a resource for safety and sustenance. We were given nature as a resource for just good mental aptitude. It's amazing what that does to your brain and to your body functions. It calms everything down. And then, of course, don't be afraid to meditate or pray or have coffee with a girlfriend. Just pause. Don't start big. Don't take it all on at one time. Just start small, one little thing at a time. But how hold that belief that the earth has gone through much more catastrophic changes. So have humans, and we have
Oh,
maintained this sustained all the way through.
I like that. We're going to take a break. And I like ending on a positive note, but there's more to come. We'll be right back after this when We're Not Alone continues. Welcome back, everyone, to We're Not Alone. Dr. Lisa Puzo Strickland joins us today talking about the connection between spirituality and Mother Nature, UAPs, UFOs, alien encounters, all that good stuff. Lisa, are there aliens on Earth?
There definitely are. They are very, very real. If you talk to rear admirals, colonels, generals, politicians, scientists, academics, they will all tell you that. It is amazing the collaboration that this field is experiencing right now. These experts are coming out of the woodwork. They're not doing it for profit because there's no money to be made right now. They're doing it for the sake of humankind. They're trying to find the truth for us. I highly respect that. And it is said that not only are they here physically on the earth, they are in the earth, they are in our oceans. Just ask Navy personnel who have come forward as whistleblowers. And they may not necessarily be just physical. They may be interdimensional, right?
Mm.
They may be time travelers. That is why it is so important for disclosure to happen. Currently, there is the UAPDA, the UAP Disclosure Act, is making its way through legislative hallways. And what that will do, it will enact an eminent domain for the United States government to basically hub all of the found craft and materials and biologics, and then allow private enterprise and venture capitalists to study these without the red tape of government and without the limited public funds that are available. It will pour money into science and research, and it will absolutely speed up the process of not just disclosure, but what we can learn that will then benefit humankind in the future.
Lisa, why has it been covered up all these years with all the confusion and smoke and mirrors and all that stuff? And why now do you think disclosure is imminent?
Well, first of all, ask why now. It's because everything is chaotic right now.
Yes.
There's no better time to shake the jar completely and let it all out on the table.
Mhm.
So I think that's part of it for right now. But why has it been hidden? Why was JFK's assassination hidden? Why is anything hidden? I do believe that there's been this philosophy amongst government that the human um, species is rather fragile and that we can't always handle the truth, and that would completely mess up our religious beliefs,
Mm.
and you would have rioting in the streets,
Mhm.
and are they going to come and they're going to shoot their beams at us, and this is where the truth and the research is so very important. There never, to my knowledge, there's never been a UAP craft that's indicated any sort of weaponry
Mhm.
towards humans or any sort of military sites. In fact, they have turned off nuclear weapons, which is a
Mhm.
whole other story. So, in fact, I think they're maybe not necessarily benevolent, but they're certainly not to hurt here to hurt us.
Mhm.
But there have been secrets about it since 85 years, something like
Mhm.
that, maybe longer. I
Mhm.
think it's just because the government and the powers that be have been afraid of how humans would react. I think we have proven that a lot of things just get sloughed off our shoulders, you know? Even Avi Loeb said that he asked his daughter what she would think if there was disclosure. And she basically said, "Could I still play soccer?" or something
Oh,
like that. Yeah.
oh, I
You
love
know,
that.
we all know. We
Yeah.
all already know innately that they're here.
Wow. I say wow a lot on this series. I say it all the time, and I also say I have goosebumps. I say that all the time, but it's the truth. We're going to wrap up. We just have a few more minutes. I want a positive closing word from you because we have to end in the light. But before we do that, how can people reach you? And you've got a book coming out. Can you tell us about that briefly?
I do have a book coming out. Can't tell you the title
Okay.
yet, but it basically fuses biomimicry, UAP, philosophy, psychology, and it basically helps us navigate all these massive changes that are happening in the world around us today. We mentioned AI and cryptocurrency and global warming and all that fun stuff. But there's certainly a lot of great things ahead. There's free energy. We're on the brink of free energy. Earth changes are only pulling humans together. They're no longer pulling us apart.
Mm.
It's something we all realize is true, and we're all working together. We're getting AI and quantum computing to help manage those. Um, it's just I love where humanity is going. We are shaking things up. We're a little braver on that front. We've got our resilience. We understand that the negativity of social media and naysayers are, you know what, they're a dime a dozen, and we're not paying as much attention to that negativity any longer. And we're a pretty magnificent species. We're capable of love and empathy, and we have a collective conscious that will take us very, very far and keep us together.
We're going to end it right there because I love that. Dr. Lisa Puzo Strickland, fascinating. Can't wait for your book to come out. And thank you for lifting us up. Thank you for
Thank you,
joining us.
McKay. Thanks for having me.
Of course, our pleasure. And we thank everyone for joining us for this edition of We Are Not Alone. I'm McKay Buehler with Queen City News. We'll see you next time.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.